Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, March 11th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We have a reverse aging health call tonight at 9 p.m. This moment is the main course. Indulge yourself deeply in this delicious, delectable moment of now. Savor the divine ingredients that your past memories and future thoughts are offering you today. Totally consume this moment of now so that you may be consumed by the now. Sit and devour this ordinary experience of life because it is an absolutely phenomenal experience. Notice how each bite is fresh, brand new, and unlike any other. Savor the others in your life. Yet be sure to enjoy the richest and creamiest snack of them all. Take some time today to consciously let go of your past. When your heavy emotional ties from yesteryear are released, you have more space and time to feel this deep, sweet, healing presence that you are. What was is not as important as what is here, right now. This moment contains the entire universe, so the past will never be as incredible, fascinating, or mesmerizing as the divinity you'll find in the here and now. You cannot fully experience bliss as long as you're holding on to some old memory. All of our memories are just to entertain us. They can make us drunk and with joy or pain, yet they always are hypnotizing. You making you truly believe they are real. And truly, what is real? Can your memories change and suddenly become something else? If so, then they are not that real, are they? I find everything on earth is temporary and subject to change at any moment. When you realize this, everything becomes more dear. It all depends on how much your awareness can stretch today. This now moment is the only place where you drop this clinging onto your past and learn how to be free from it. This now moment is it, and your freedom from the past is the gift. It is time to let go, let it all go, and smile on. To find peace of mind, simply resign as the general manager of the universe. We have so many ins and outs in this life. And there's a choice that we have. And it's always our choice. To go within, stay within, or to continue the mad rush of the external world, the external material physical world. We spend lifetimes, literally, all of us, thousands and thousands of lifetimes, to actually discover who and what we are. The reason this planet is in the state it's in, why do you think it is? It's because the majority of the population doesn't know who and what it is. And it lives out there. It exists out there, having, wanting, and needing. And it is run by the ego mind. Now, if you took two people and you were to say, okay, the heart-minded person and the ego-minded person, those who live in their head, those who live in their heart. What's the difference? Those who live in their heart go with the flow. They live in the now. They aren't attached to anything, really. They don't have expectations of anything. It doesn't mean that they're just, life, they don't enjoy life or anything. The opposite of that. They enjoy life. And they know that the universe is their best friend. Just their best friend. It has their back 24/7, eternity and beyond. And they have trust in themselves. And they don't doubt themselves. This is the heart-minded. And they're the ones that take the boat downstream. They walk up to the river's edge. They get in a boat with no oars. And they just let the current take them. Now, the head person, the ego-mind person, they're quite a bit different. They're constantly worried about being wrong. They're constantly worried about not having. And they're constantly worried about how others think of them. And they always have to prove themselves and always have to be better than someone else or believe that their life must be better than what they have. That gets just exhausting, just describing that. Does that make either of them good or bad? No. But it's to understand why this planet is in the condition it's in. Not so much, some of the planet environmentally that we'll fix, but the civilization. When we understand that the ego mind cannot run life, because then you spend tens of thousands of lifetimes trying to figure out who and what you are. And ego thoughts are generated, ego mind thoughts, on a continual basis. That's a mind chatter, and we all have that. But it's to know, see, once you begin to know, and you start saying, wait a minute here, this is ego mind, this is ego mind. Being able to identify it. This thought is ego mind thought. But the reaction I'm feeling, that I'm having, is ego mind. Wanting to be better than others is ego mind. Now, it's interesting, too, because there are those of us who say that we don't expect anything out of anything. We don't want anything. We don't care to have anything. And we aren't expecting someone to give us something in return for giving something to them. Okay? But you know what that does? It keeps that person in that cycle. Could be for their entire life. When we help others without ulterior motives, without expecting something in return, we just help them because we want to. Could be a complete stranger or someone you know. That's how you help yourself. You help others. Now, obviously, there is a little area that is overlooked, and that's you. Being able to understand you, love you deeply, be in deep gratitude of you, be in gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness for you. Surrendering things that you've dragged through life, maybe lifetimes. Surrendering them and cleaning out the closet, so to speak. Takes courage. There is fear, then courage for any of us to do that. But when we do it, we're setting ourselves free. Because then you begin to realize that it doesn't matter what others think of you, how they feel about you. It doesn't matter. They're not you. They're not in that body. And this is when you really start to realize your freedom. As soon as the ego mind kicks in and you start worrying, stressing, and fearing, If you ever noticed that worry, stressing, and fearing, you could literally solve. You have solutions to your certain situations, right? But then another one comes right in, lickety split. And this is the ego mind. It will always relentlessly do this. So you drop down in the heart. And you don't sweat the small stuff. And you're in deep gratitude every split second. And you find yourself saying to yourself in the course of your day and night, evening and night, I'm deeply grateful. And then the ego mind might say, are you really that grateful? Really? And your answer is, absolutely. The ego mind goes away. But assisting people, helping people, after you've discovered yourself, okay? A lot of people will help people, but they don't know who and what they are. So it gets kind of clogged up, so to speak. But when you genuinely help other people because you want to help them and you aren't expecting anything in return, really care to, the joy is helping a part of yourself. And that is kind of missing on this planet at this time. Being in the heart mind and understanding who and what you are to a certain extent and helping others. Because, see, we're the minority. Those of us who are awake to a certain extent, consciously aware, we're a real minority. We're about a third of the population of the planet. Now, our should we decide to accept it, part of our mission is to wake those others up so that everybody is awake, consciously aware to a certain extent. But how do you do that, you know? How do you how do you help people wake up? It is an art. It really is, because when you understand yourself, then it isn't that difficult. Because at one time you were there. So when you're talking with someone that's not awake, you know it, you feel it. It's not something that you have to research. And then you realize that, hey, wait a minute. And you start talking. You don't talk about any of the sensitive things. Vaccines, war, that type of thing, conspiracy. You talk on a subtle level about them. That's the only way. How are you going to help them if you don't know them? See? So you literally have to make acquaintances. You don't have to, you choose to, in order to understand where they're coming from. And it's almost like, it's like when you meet the ones that are asleep, it's like talking to a foreign person and you don't understand their language between the two of you. So you carry on a conversation. They have that glassy, cover on their eye, and they just kind of stare at you, and you kind of get the idea that you're on the wrong track because they're, again, becoming defensive because they think you're nuts or crazy. So you get to know them. Now, if it's a relative, maybe you don't know them that well. And if it's a friend, maybe you don't know them as well as you think you do. But the biggest key is to understand that these folks are in a bicameral mode. What that means is that they don't see things, hear things like you do. They need to have someone think for them, lead them, govern them, tell them what to do, when to get up, when to eat, when to do this, when to do that. That's their current mentality right there. So you come along, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, full of, you've got all these things that you've discovered and so on, and then you start talking to them and say, well, if you take that, that's going to be bad for you. Oh, no, this is going to protect me. Or if you do this, it's not a good idea. See, it's in a lot of cases it's subtle. It's like, what would you do if you found out that the vaccine or whatever it may be that you've taken, what would you do if you found out that it was really not good for you and could end your body, could kill you? Just for giggles, what would that be like? How would you feel about that? So it's conversation, it's interaction, and it's not confronting. It's subtle. Because whether some of us like it or not, these majority on the planet currently in this now, it's going to be up to us if any of them do wake up. That's the bottom line. Now, what happens if they don't? Then they'll leave the body. It's an inevitability. We all leave the body, but theirs would be prematurely. And this is for those of us who are consciously aware. What will my life be like when I'm living my ultimate dream? What will my relationships, job, income, and health be like? What will my spiritual connection with the universe be like? Who is that I most want to be like? What will my ideal vacations look like? If I had everything I wanted, what would I be doing with my time? If I had all the money I needed, what would I purchase with it? What would I do with it? What do I want my life to look like 10 years from now? These are all questions that people ask themselves. But you see, when you're in the now, all this comes together. If someone were to ask you, what do you want your life to look like 10 years from now? And you're in the now, you will say, right now. Have you ever talked with yourself? Getting to know you. How many of us really get to know ourselves? This is all connected. So that eventually this entire planet will wake up. Entire civilization. But it's all about you. It really is. And most of us spend a lot of time away from ourselves. Distractions, interactions with others. Because a lot of us don't care to go there. Isn't that amazing? Once and for all, discover and alleviate, let it go with yourself. And watch how many people start coming into their own by understanding that no matter what, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks or says about me, I'm free. I pass no judgments on others. We're always learning, carry no revenge towards others. All lower frequencies. And it doesn't seem difficult, does it, to comprehend? That if one is to lower their vibrational frequencies, they open the door to lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. This is all about us. It's all about each other. It's all about you. That for the collectiveness of the planet, that each one of us take on the responsibility of ourselves. Embrace the responsibility of ourselves. What we say, what we do, how we feel about ourselves. How deep a gratitude do we really, truly feel? Knowing that all the happiness that we could possibly desire is within us. All the wealth, all the abundance is within us. Alleviation of all the worry, stress, fear, and anxiety is within us. It's to break the cycle, to finally end the cycle, this mad dash cycle of reincarnation. It's to end it. Does it mean that no one will reincarnate? No, not at all. but it's to end the mad dash cycle of reincarnation. And the only way we'll do that is when we're in physical form, we discover who and what we are, so that we can help each other, which is parts of ourselves. Don't think for a minute that the gods within all the bodies, even those that you can't stand, aren't part of you. Because remember, it's the body, it's not the God inside the body. It's the body. Character, personality, and everything. Because remember, that's not you. You're the God in the body. And, you know, we all get ourselves in certain situations. Each of us do. Whether we know it or not, we choose to. It isn't on anybody else. It's on you. It's your responsibility. Nobody else's. Oftentimes we'll point fingers at, well, it's because of this, because of that, they did this, you know, and look at this and that. It's you. It's all about you. And that's a responsibility that the civilization must eventually accept open-heartedly. And start viewing your life, start creating in the now the life that you desire. Period. The life that you want. It has nothing to do with anyone else. You can live a life amongst all of the subterfuge, all of the confusion, all of the hurriedness of bliss. That's a fact. There's people right now on this planet that have those lives because they created them. Well, how can you create a life when everything is so crap and falling apart and doing this and that? It's real simple. Don't step into the storm. Don't step into it, no matter how tempting it may be, no matter how much the ego mind wants to push you into the storm. Stay in the now, in the center of the storm. Be a spectator. Watch. That's it. Still the mind. Still the ego. Still the subconscious mind. Love yourself. Deeply, truly, completely. When we get out of our heads and we shut the door to our heads and we open fully the door to our hearts, a lot of things change instantaneously. And it is up to us. No one else. It is your choice every single time. Why would any of us see? This is because the majority, they think with the head. They do it, not the heart, the head. And this is what gets them all so confused, frustrated, stressed out, angry, and full of stress and tension. The first thing I would say to the people of planet Earth, know thyself. Know thyself. Know that you are not the body, that you are the God within the body. However you want to label yourself. God, higher self, spirit, soul, source, kingdom of God. Know thyself at all times. Don't judge thyself. Know thyself. Love thyself deeply. Be in deep gratitude for thyself. Be in deep gratitude that you have the opportunity to experience physical life. And be always gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself. No reason to come down on yourself. No reason to beat yourself up. That's the ego mind. And that lowers your vibrational frequency, which lets the door open. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. We are not the body. We are not the character. We are not the personality. We are not our name. God within the body. And to relax it, you focus on the breath. Focus on the breath. Focus on the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, real easy and slow. The breath stills your ego mind, stills the subconscious mind. It isn't difficult to focus on the breath all day long. Ask yourself this, how will you know? How will any of us know that we have discovered what we truly want? What are the signs or signals? Well, first, your heart will open with joy when you see yourself experiencing your desired outcome. Your body will feel this excited, tingling sensation as if it was screaming, Yahoo! Followed by a sensation of relief and inner peace. When you know what you want, you feel fully alive. You notice that your blood is really pumping inside, causing all your senses to be alert and sensitive to this life. Every time you think about what you truly want, you will feel extremely excited about the future. And all of us practicing, sitting and taking a deep, honest look at who we are and what we really want to experience in this life. Something magical begins to occur. Focusing on the now, focusing on the breath. It eliminates the past. It eliminates the future. Only the now is what we have. And in the now, everything takes place. People say, well, what is the now? You're focused on something. Actually, it's focusing on your breath. Not a particular subject at all. Because that's in the ego mind. That's the thinking in the head. And you'll get to the point where people will ask you, you seem really relaxed. How do you do that? You just seem at ease. Well, I wish I could know how to do that. Focus on your breath, which is the now. Stay there. Don't just visit it. Stay there. Eventually, you'll want to stay there. And what does the body do with that? It relaxes. Because things just fall off. Because you're not thinking. You're not worrying. You're not stressing. You're not fearing. It's all gone. Because you aren't entertaining it. That's the ego mind. And you're just in the now. Focusing on your breath, relaxing the body. Any fear that surfaces, because they do at times, they come in. Give it a full body hug and say, I don't need you. All fear is a thought that we give power to. Same with courage. Same with all of it. It's a thought that we give power to. And here's a big one, right? When we stop worrying about leaving the body, when we stop, not only that, when we worry, what's it going to be like when we leave the body? People sit there and go, I could lose my life. So what? You're immortal. You're an infinite being in that body. You'll get another one. See, that's why we're so attached. Because in the physical, material world, we're attached to the body. So we fear. Fear is a thought. It's the ego mind. We give that thought power. It becomes our reality. Everything, every thought that you have is a thought. It's great, right? every thought you have, you give that thought power, and you bring it into reality, and then you experience it. Good, not so good, bad. It doesn't matter. You'll know when your body's relaxed because you choose to let go. Letting go isn't giving up at all. You just don't entertain it. You're not ignoring it. You say, I don't care to entertain that. It's not something that I care to entertain. It's not a thought that I'm going to give power to. So I'll just let it pass on by. Now picture yourself standing in front of three paths. The paths look very similar. You notice that each path, one on the left, one in the center, one on the right. And you notice that the trees have formed canopies over those paths. Beautiful, golden, shimmering leaves, bark, trees, branches. And you notice that the path is a vibrant emerald green flaming grass. It appears to be grass. And you notice that the one on the left is really worn. It's the past. The one on the right is really worn. It's the future. But the one you're standing in front of looks brand new. That's the now. Now, we all go into the past. Now, for Jeff, it's fun because we have memories. And those memories, sometimes we revisit. We reminisce, daydream. We have a library. Each of us has a personal library. It's our subconscious mind, which collects everything and stores it. Every experience in your life since you've been in the baby body and onward, forward, it collects. Every single thought that the ego mind generates and others generate, it collects. Past lives, future lives, it collects. So when you go in this library, it's fast. Turn on the light, open the door, turn on the light, and you go to the shelves and you get some movies and some pictures and some books, and you sit in the easy chair, and you enjoy them. You watch the movies. You read some of the books and you look at the pictures. And it's fun. This was a great time. I really enjoyed this time. I wish I could do that again. I felt really good. But then we get done and we put everything away, and then we turn the light off, shut the door, and walk and move forward in this life. On occasion, we revisit it. But see, some of us will stay there so long. And I don't believe it's consciously, I believe it's unconscious, that we'll take that past into a future that doesn't exist. We will create that future from that past, and we will relive that past in that future. This is why people will say no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, we all go into the future because we want to know things, right? Because the ego mind's constantly, incessantly knocking. You got to know this, and you got to find this out, and you got to know what direction your future is going to be. You know, what's going to happen? You know, are you going to have enough money to support yourself? Are you going to be able to afford to buy food? You're going to be able to have a roof over your head. These are these simple things. Or, when are you going to meet your lifelong romantic partner? When are you going to have enough money to enjoy your life? When are you going to be well enough to enjoy your life? When are you going to be able to buy that house? When are you going to be able to buy that car? All of these things, and many, many, many more. And notice, though, we're not in the now, are we? No, we're not. We're way off into other directions. So we'll seek external authorities that will tell us things, right? And give us insights about ourselves and what we may be looking at in the near future for ourselves. Oh, well, you're gonna have something happen, and you'll have a boatload of money come in. And see, because we get attached to external authority telling us that about our future, and what happens when it doesn't happen. We suffer disappointment, irritability, frustration, anger at times. See what it brings? See what it does to us? We go into a future that doesn't exist and we get frustrated. We go into a past and we reminisce, right? We don't stay there. But the now is really all we have. Can you honestly guarantee yourself, any of us, that we're going to wake up tomorrow morning? Can we? Really, truly? None of us can. Can we change the past? No. We create the future in the now. See, that's where letting go comes in. Truly letting go, not superficially. You ever had something for a long time? Maybe many of you experienced this. And you've had it a long time, right? And for some reason, you just can't part with it. You may not even be using it. It might be packed away or something. But when the thought comes to you letting go of it, no, you're going to hold on to it, right? And then have you ever gotten to the point where you're in a situation where you've got to get rid of a bunch of things, you have no choice? And at first, it's frightening and it's disruptive and disappointing and depressing, right? You go through that. But then when it's all gone, you let it go, you feel different. You feel free. You don't feel burdened or heavy-shouldered. And many people have experienced that. Not just a few, many. The recipe is right there in front of you to free yourself, to free you by staying in the now. By increasing your vibrational frequency so that the universe is sending you abundance 24/7, you'll be in that stream again. Or if you never have been, you will be. All of us can be. Now, if you look in the body, because you know you're not the body, and you're consciously aware, and what does consciously aware mean? We know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. So we look in the body, and we see these 7 lights. These are very deep, beautiful lights. Nothing like the lights you see on this planet. Way beyond that. And the 7 of them, each one a different color, go all the way up from the tailbone to the top of the head. They're spirit etheric energy. You, the God that you are, is spirit etheric energy. Omnipotently powerful. So we flow through the body. We know the blood vessels. We know the blood cells. We know everything there's to know about this body all the way down to the quantum quark. We always have. We have amnesia. So we just, and the distraction of that external physical world. See what I mean? Keeps us off center. Keeps us focused on it instead of being focused on us, on you. And eventually, we will discover with our journey within that we are the power of healing these bodies. At a blink of the eye. Right in this now, we have that power. We have that ability, every single one of us. We just don't know how to use it. Plus, we have doubt. We have fear. Right? And we don't trust. So it stays in a stasis field. Now, when we enter these bodies, we are heaven. We're the heaven. Heaven isn't a place. The God within you is the heaven. The body is the earth. Heaven on earth. And those of us who are consciously aware know that every step we take on this planet, we're creating paradise. Every step we take on this planet, we're creating paradise. And we're shining our light. Our light is the love that we're made of, the God's inside these bodies. It is omnipotently powerful, and it is infinity and beyond. It is immortal. And so we are flooding this planet, every single step, on it, in it, above it, and below it, with the love that we are of and from. Saturating and permeating all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. It is inescapable. Now, if you were to take a starship off planet, and you went out far enough so that the planet looked like a basketball, you would see that the planet glowed. Not only that, you would notice all the lights around the planet in this universe would pale in comparison. They would be like a candle lit in a dark room. Dim, dim, dim. The love that we are is transforming this planet and the civilization. The love that we are, of and from, is transcending, transforming, ascending the civilization and the planet. See it in your heart mind's motion picture. Feel it. We're creating a God planet paradise, and that's what this planet was intentionally meant to be in the beginning. Some of us, maybe in this life, will discover by our journey within that we, when we decide to leave these bodies and go out into the sacredness of space, we will discover that we are the light. And we can go anywhere we choose, anywhere. We can incarnate in anything that we wish to experience. That's the true story. That's the reality. And we are supreme reality. When a light chases you, that's the matrix trap in this universe. It keeps us in this incessant repeat of reincarnation. It's possible to discover that still in this life. Now, we have parts of ourselves that are asleep, parts of the gods that we are. We know that. We all know that. And we have parts of ourselves that are awake, consciously aware to a certain extent. The parts of ourselves that are asleep, they'll wake in their own time. We deeply love them because they are part of us. We communicate with the parts of ourselves that are awake in this now, consciously aware to a certain extent in this now. Now, this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is the archangels, cherubim, seraphim archetypes. This is ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, Almoria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've experienced. All the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials. Now, the light energy beings with this planet, right? The eyes that we have with these bodies, we don't see all the light spectrums like the red, infrared, violet, ultraviolet, green, ultra-green, blue, ultra-blue. And they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which we don't see. But there is a group that we're intimately connected with, these bodies are. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes. Fairies, sprites, elves, gnomes, trees, trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, dolphin, whale, Pegasus, unicorn, centaur, minotaur. There are many more. Now, you just ask your body that you're in, can you carry me without water? Can you sustain yourself without water? What about air? What about fire? What about earth, wood, ether? And the answer is no. We would have to leave the body. We have an intimate connection, these bodies do, with the elementals. How deeply connected these bodies are. Do we ever think of that? I mean, do we ever feel that? Do we ever visit that? The ascended masters, they've ascended into physical form, have mastered physical form, have ascended out of physical form, hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. We create our experiences to perfect our creations. And the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, archetypes, they're a civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. But we meet them, and it's never planned. It's just out of the clear blue. And we'll have conversations with complete strangers. And always that little feeling, sometimes more than others, that we say to ourselves after that interaction, this is an angel. And you feel blessed. You could be, boy, it'd be great if I had some help with this. Someone shows up and you have help with it. Or something happens to give you help. In depression, you ask yourself, I'd like to be in the arms of an angel. And guess what? You feel better. Now, they have a message that they've been sending all of us for a very long time in different ways. The message comes down to this. Isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? The answer is yes. We take it for granted, don't we? We take making love, holding hands, kissing, laughing, crying, smiling, eating, drinking. We take that all for granted. Because why? Because we're focused on the external world, the material, physical world. And we don't remember how divine it is to be in these physical forms and experience them. Because most of us don't know that when we leave these bodies, we're immortal. We're supreme immortal beings. We don't die. The body's temporary. The God is forever. We haven't made that understanding with ourselves. We haven't discovered it yet. Most of us. Now, they could surround any one of us at any one time. Tens of thousands, tens of millions. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can house a large number in a small area. And if you'd like them to, just ask. In the blink of the eye, they'll be there and you'll be in bliss. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics and the celestials. Over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through this solar system every day. trillions throughout the universes every day. We're familiar with a small group: Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, we're always together. We are not separate, the gods that we are. So whether 1,000 billion light years away or here in front of you, we're all connected, the gods that we are. We make up the one. We're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one. And we're all love. And we're all God. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to grow, intensify, and expand. We begin immediately forming a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This white fire emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies. Pure love. And it's saturating this planet, permeating it, flooding it. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe, infinity and beyond. There's no escape from it. We begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. This is not like an ocean we would see on this planet. The best way to describe it is we have three instances. We have a massive grand finale fireworks display, a massive grand finale laser light show display, and a massive ballroom globe, the mirrored globes that turns and all the lights reflect everywhere. Except this one is about 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense. If you took all of that, combined it in one massive crescendo, this is as close as we'll get to describing the ocean of glitter. Now we're curious, so we look for the reflecting points. And we get close and we notice these tiny little microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched, and we enter them. And we discover that all of us, housed in many different physical forms, are learning and teaching and learning with each other. Infinity and beyond never stops. The only reason that the majority of us don't know this is because of the external physical world that distracts us so much. When was the last time you looked at your dog and said, what is he or she teaching me? What are they showing me? Because we're always doing that. All of us. What does my cat teach me? What does my horse, cow, whatever? What's this rock teaching me I just stumbled over? Nothing is a coincidence. Doesn't exist. Everything is put there specifically for you. We were told that the tree is life, right? It's the God that enters the tree as the life, gives the tree life so that the tree can sustain the God, so that the God can experience the tree. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind all of us, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve, the gods that we are within these bodies. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind all of us that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected with a white fire armor, nothing like the armor on this planet. This white fire armor emanates from the God force, love, light energy within each and every single one of us. It is the highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. Cannot be penetrated, cannot be destroyed. It is immortal. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, no demon possession, no attachments. Ever. They can't come near us at that frequency. It'll vanish them. It'll vaporize them. So they stay away. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then we have different possibilities, demon possession, attachments, all sorts of interesting occurrences. So if we do decide to do that, we're immediately met with a double column of light. The first part of the column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. We are then met with the second part of this column of light, which is the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that we created, the gods that we are within these bodies, to remind us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the trees and the forest and the soils. We are the skies and the clouds. We're everything. Everything is us. So the next time you view any of this, sunset, sunrise, rainbow, mountain view, ocean front, starry lit night sky, it is you. It's the God in that body that you are. I am that I am. When you see it, I am that I am. That is the I am that I am. That is the God that I am. This is through the heart-mind, not through the head, not through the ego. Try it if you haven't already. You will. Remember, by teaching us that we're separate, then it diminishes us. By understanding the journey within and focusing and discovering that it is us, and separation. We continue to descend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above it, if we're carrying physical form. And the reason we do this is because we can, and it's fun. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column is this massive oblong sphere. Center of the sphere, golden white ball of light. It is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light, seem to go infinity and beyond. This creates a super bright, white, spectacular reflecting cloud. glittering and sparking, and it enters through our heart minds, and it is like a warm embrace that never ends. And we discover that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, the purest of the purest purest eternal love. Then comes well-being. Then comes gratitude. Then comes gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. Then bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. Stupendous, marvelous, magnificent, massive prosperity and abundance. And we discover that all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. At the top of the tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, infinity and beyond. The golden ocean, pure, deep, eternal love. Flooding, saturating, and permeating all life, the highest supreme value in the universes. There's no escape. The full liberation of this planet is in full gear, high gear. Cannot be stopped. All lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies are being vanished and vaporized because they can't sustain a love frequency, a deep, eternal, pure, highest of the highest high frequencies. Now we're drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops are the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We all created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds over 1,800 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Now, these meditations don't disintegrate, don't weaken, don't fade out. They do the opposite. They continue to grow, intensify, and expand. This is powerful. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world, consciously aware to a certain extent, focused on the pure liberation of this planet. Unending. Now you can literally, any of us can tap into these meditations as often as we choose to. Uncontrollable mental chatter is the cause of all suffering in our lives. The moment we stop the mind for even a few minutes, a powerful peace-filled energy arises inside us all. Try it and see. To become the divine observer of your mind and step back from the 60,000 plus thoughts that run through your head each day, simply choose to become the ever-present witnessing observer of each experience. Choosing to be vigilantly aware of this ever-present observer of your mind can make you make the typical tragic, dramatic day transform into a harmonic symphony of joy and love. So for today, devote all your energy to watching the incessant chatter happening inside your mind without buying into its drama. It doesn't matter what the mind does today. Just be a super observer. Watch with amazement. If you get tangled up in some important thoughts, don't try to stop them, change them, or participate in them. Simply sit back, even deeper behind your mind, and relax your body. And you can find it extremely entertaining to simply watch, listen, and have a good laugh all day long. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Be still. The greatest spiritual energy in the entire universe is inside you, right here and now. There is nothing you can do to diminish, taint, or change this ever-present spiritual consciousness that is flowing through you. For today, imagine you have the volume control on the knowingness that you are the eternal spiritual energy. Turn up your knowingness as high as it will go. What does that feel like to you to know, without any doubt, that you are the most powerful, indestructible, eternal, infinite energy in this entire universe? Practice knowing this divine presence is you all day today. Initiate and integrate this knowingness while you work, eat, drive, play, and engage in conversation with others. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for our Reverse Aging Health Call, and tomorrow, Saturday, March 12th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation